Aloha. Thank you for that welcome, and thank you for this amazing opportunity to speak today. I wanted to start out by acknowledging the traditional territory of the Indigenous people of Honolulu and to give thanks for them allowing us to work on this land today. I would also like to thank Soroptimist International for inviting me here to speak, and a special thanks to the Soroptimists of the Tri-Cities and Western Canada for starting me on this incredible journey. Last, I need to say, I'm gonna cry. I need to say a very special thank you to the woman who has believed in me, who motivated me to put forward my application, and also a former Women's Opportunity Award recipient who has traveled all the way here to hear me speak. Angelina, I love you. Okay. You heard in my introduction that life hasn't been a cakewalk. For years, I questioned, why me? If there really was any kind of God, why was I chosen to suffer in the ways that I did? From a very early age, I can remember feeling this way. But I can also remember just being a kid with big dreams, for the fairy tale wedding, the family, a beautiful house, and I wanted to be a lawyer. Up until I was about 12 years old, that was my plan. As you heard, things changed dramatically for me right around that time in my life, and those dreams quickly faded. I remember reading the front page of the application package for the Women's Opportunity Award and the quote asking if I had to put my dreams on hold. Other than what I just described to you, I can honestly say that I didn't have any dreams. I was a grade 8 dropout, an addict, a street kid, a teen parent, and so many labels within all of these things. My dream was to get as far away from my reality as I could, and I did that in every self-destructive way I could find. If you would have asked me at 15 years old where I saw myself at this age, I would have told you, dead. That was the only place I saw myself going, and I was trying hard to fast-track the process. So what changed then? There was a different plan in the works for me than what I could see. Today I know that everything that has happened to me in my life was preparing me for something else. All those years, I thought I was being punished, and today I'm able to see gifts in every part of my journey. That's the heart of what I wanted to share with you today. I didn't want to get up here and hash out the gory details of my past traumas. I know that my story is not unique, nor is it the worst out there. And although those things are important pieces of my story, it's not the true message that I have to share today. That being said, I was encouraged to share some of where I have come from to help you understand who I am. I grew up really quickly. My parents were both teenagers when they had me and came from their own history of abuse and addictions. They did the best they could with us, but the reality was that they were kids trying to raise kids, and it was tough. I found alcohol at 8 years old. It flowed freely in my house, and it was only natural that it would make its way to us somehow. I was abused physically, sexually, and emotionally as a little girl, and alcohol became a way to escape from the pain without having to go anywhere. At 11, I was taken permanently into care of child welfare, and from that point forward, bounced between homes, shelters, juvie, and the streets. By age 12, I was fully addicted to crack cocaine and doing whatever I needed to support that habit. I attempted suicide several times during my teen years and still wear the scars from one of those attempts as a constant reminder. At 15, I found out I was pregnant. The birth of my daughter was one of the first things that started to change the course of my life. I am a strong believer that everything happens for a reason, and I truly believe that had I not gotten pregnant when I did, that I would have killed myself or died. I had absolutely no will to live anymore at that point in my life, and she gave me that. Unfortunately, my addictions were still too strong, and I began using again after she was born. I lost her to child welfare after being hospitalized when her father beat me unconscious. This again motivated me to build my life back up, as I could not let my child grow up in the system that had broken me. It took a few more hard lessons for it to stick, but each time I grew stronger. I went back to school, I began advocating for youth, and I learned how to be a mom. In 2008, I relocated to another province for an opportunity to do the work that I love at a higher level. A year later, I decided I wasn't ready to settle with the way things were yet and made the decision to return to school. I was accepted into the distance education program at the University of Victoria to complete my Bachelor of Arts in Child and Youth Care. I've been fulfilling a full-time course load online so that I could continue to work while raising my girls. In 2010, I was again presented with another opportunity and challenge. Addiction has been a reality for all of my siblings, and in 2006, my brother lost his daughter to child welfare. She had been in care for 4 years, and the system was planning to adopt her out. I feel strongly about the importance of family and roots today, and although I wasn't sure I could do it, I could not imagine our family losing another child to the system. On Christmas Eve of that year, I brought her home. My brother was ecstatic to know that she was going to grow up with me and that she would be cared for and loved by family. He loved her so much, but wasn't ready to raise her. His own addiction and lifestyle had too much of a hold on him, and he couldn't stop. On May 1st last year, I got the phone call that he was gone. This has by far been the greatest pain that I have had to ever endure, and one more tragedy for that little girl. It has also been a painful reminder of how important it is that I participate in breaking the cycle for my girls, so this does not have to be the reality in our family for generations to come. Albert Einstein said, in the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. I think that the Women's Opportunity Award and the work that Soroptimist International does recognizes this as well. As women, we are faced with challenges on a daily basis, some far more difficult than others. But also as women, we have the power and the potential to change, not only for ourselves, but the way that women are viewed and respected in society. Every time one of us stands up and challenges one of those barriers or stereotypes, we are creating a glimmer of hope for another woman. Those glimmers turn into flames, and soon enough, they are full-on movements. That is what really matters. Receiving the Women's Opportunity Award has not only created opportunity for me, but it has sparked my passions on a whole new level. The reality is that we all have a story. For me and other Women's Opportunity Award recipients, our stories are filled with the kind of tragedy and pain that often makes headlines. These are the stories that people pay attention to. Don't get me wrong, I am so grateful that my story gave me the attention to get this opportunity. I guess what I'm trying to say is that we have all faced hardships at some point in our life and endured. It is what makes us who we are. Every single one of you in this room has been inspired by something or someone to motivate you to do this work, just as I have been motivated to do what I do. We all have a story. It is what we do with that story that counts. Receiving the Women's Opportunity Award is helping me to rewrite the ending to my story. This year, I know that I don't have to struggle financially to pay the bills, tuition, and to feed my kids. This year, I'm going to write the law school admissions test because the expense will not take food out of my children's mouths, and the dream seems realistic. This year, both of my girls will play the sports they want to play, and I won't worry about how I'm going to pay fees or buy the sports equipment they want. These things may seem small, but 6 months ago, I didn't know how I was going to pay my rent. I couldn't afford any food, and my car was broken down. 6 months ago, for the first time in a really long time, I wanted to give up and throw it all away. Then I got a call from Soroptimist International of the Tri-Cities congratulating me at the local level. So I could stop there, say thank you, accept the money, and go on doing what I want to do for me. I could pursue my goals, and I am sure that I would be successful if I wanted to be. But the reality for me is that without humility and without genuine purpose, all of those goals are meaningless. I'm going to stand up here and say thank you. Thank you for this opportunity and the gifts that this award brings into my life. But I am also going to stand before you with a commitment to show my gratitude. Over the past few months, I have come to know some of the values of Soroptimist International, and I am inspired by the work that you all do, and I want to be a part of that work. I have also been reminded once again that I can't give up when things get tough. I have become a role model for the young people I work with and all of the young women in my life. Part of my story is that I have been blessed with two beautiful girls that look to me for guidance on what it means to be a woman. My daughter is almost a teenager and has lived through both my pain and my successes. I also care for my beautiful niece, who has had to endure more hardship than many adults I know in just 5 years of life. I have a responsibility to teach my girls what it means to be a strong, empowered woman in today's society, and to provide them with the tools that they need to go out there and live their dreams. Some of the money that I received from the Women's Opportunity Award has allowed me to bring my girls here with me so that they can share in this experience. Today, they get to know that they are the priority in my life and that I don't want to celebrate without them. I may not have the husband, the house with the white picket fence, or your typical family setup. I'm not a lawyer yet. The dreams that I had for myself as a little girl did not turn out the way that I dreamed them up back then, but I wouldn't trade any of this in for anything. I never imagined my life would get this good, and I know it is only just the beginning. I want to thank everybody in SIA for becoming a part of my story and my journey, and for the support that this award offers. I also want to encourage each one of you to keep doing the work that you do, because it is changing lives. I am only one story, but my story not only impacts me, it impacts my children and all of the women, young and old, that I am connected to. It tells us that there is a silver lining and that there are thousands of women out there who believe in this potential of women. It tells us that we are all worth it and we are capable. Thank you for the work you do. Hi, hi, and I raise my hands to you.
Thank you so much, Dawn, for sharing your story with us today. Please accept the certificate and $10,000 check from Director Angela. We do hope that this helps you live your dreams.